Breaking news, everyone! Tango Gameworks lives! It's alive! Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast brought to you by Affable Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Michael. Didn't like the game everyone else did by then, but I'm glad they're alive in us. We've got here our usual co-host, Adam. Forgot how you felt about the game. Did you even play it? Gumbert.
Yes, I enjoy the game. I like it very much.
Alex is our, what do we call you? RAF regular co-host is our special little man.
RAF regular is fine.
Special little man, Alex, Hifirush. Did you know that's the game we were talking about, Cosina?
You know, Hifirush, full disclosure, not a game that I absolutely loved, but a game that I appreciated. It's always great to have, you know, new IP, new blood injected into the industry, and I'm genuinely, all my personal thoughts and opinions on the game aside, very happy to hear of this news. And also stunned that we got news at like 8-10 p.m. on a Sunday. Normally, we never get breaking news stories on this podcast, but we did today.
That's what time it is right now because we are streaming live on twitch.tv/AffableIdiots.
It's actually 8:27.
8:27 Eastern Time on twitch.tv. That's where we stream live. You can watch us there, just like Campo63, who says, Chad, send me the files. Wouldn't you like to play with us, Joel? Wouldn't you like to play with us? We also have on-demand YouTube and podcast services on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time in case you hate listening to us live or you don't want to catch all the gross and raunchy things we cut out of it. That's available to you on Tuesday mornings. Let's jump right in with our, I think we just replaced our other Sega shit with this, right? Our only story today, before we get into some other fun things. Our main quest, Tango Gameworks lives. This comes from Jez Corden over at Windows Central. Tango Gameworks will live on as Microsoft has reached an agreement with publisher Krafton, like the cheese with on at the end, Krafton, to maintain the studio. Krafton Incorporated, known for games like PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, has fully acquired Tango Gameworks from Xbox, as well as the rights to recent action hit Hifirush. Here's a quote. Krafton Inc. today welcomed the talented people of Tango Gameworks to their team, marking an exciting moment in the company's global expansion and its first significant investment in the Japanese video game market. The press release reads, this strategic move will include the rights to Tango Gameworks' acclaimed IP, Hifirush. End quote. The fact Hifirush is heading across also heavily suggests that a sequel will most likely emerge from the partnership. However, franchises like Ghostwire Tokyo and The Evil Within will remain behind at Microsoft. Both Krafton and Microsoft emphasize that there will be no impact on the existing catalog of games, which will remain available in Xbox Game Pass and other storefronts they're presently on. Bam! They have been resurrected. They have been saved by the Dragon Queen herself, Krafton Inc. What a great little political... See, who needs Hot D on a Sunday night when you've got video games? People, you know, burning people's livelihoods and laying them off and destroying their whole town. And then some other benevolent Dragon Queen lady comes in and she's just like, I'll save you. She's also a parrot, apparently. And she's like, I'm going to save you. And not only am I going to save you, but I'm going to let you live and I'm going to give birth to your children. Future children. Yeah. Alex, tell me about your thoughts, your feelings.
You know, Krafton, you know, an interesting publisher. Forbes described them apparently as being one of the 7 gaming billionaires of South Korea. Obviously, I don't think any of us here are super hot on them billionaires, but I mean, hey, you know, this is the publisher behind PUBG, Battlegrounds, the Callisto Protocol, Moonbreaker, a couple of other games. Was not expecting them of any publisher to come in and swoop up Tango Gameworks, but I'm really happy about this. I am curious, and the story, it seems like we don't really have a whole lot of information right now. The story doesn't really go into details of like how many old personnel from Tango Gameworks were able to jump over and, you know, still be a part of the team with them reviving the studio. Like, my understanding is that Tango Gameworks was closed. And now are they like reaching out to all the old contacts being like, hey, you want to come back? Or was it never fully closed? Was it in almost like a zombie state? A lot of questions here, but I mean, this is very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, that was my initial question too. Is like, did they just telltale it? Are they just buying the IP and the brand name and and the name Tango Gameworks, and then the people are just hopefully coming back? But I don't know. It's so early that we don't even have those answers yet.
I mean, from what I can, it's happened 15 minutes ago. You know, per the story from Discord. By the way, shout out Discord, always getting these hot scoops and stuff. Tango Gameworks will live on as Microsoft has reached an agreement with publisher Krafton to maintain the studio. So I'm guessing they were like, you're going to be laid off, but maybe they weren't all out of the building yet. So now they're like, now you have a new employer.
And one of the statements is like, we're working with Krafton to enable the team at Tango Gameworks. Like them explicitly saying the team at Tango Gameworks suggests, we're preserving the people that were already there, as opposed to we're preserving the name Tango Gameworks and we're reinventing that, repurposing that.
Only a few companies like to tell people day of that everyone's fired and everyone has to leave. GameStop. I think most of their corporations, you have to give people a little bit of a heads up and leeway, severance packages, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it seems like a good thing. Everyone's there. They got the one IP. You know, that was just the biggest hit for them, so that's good. They could probably get working on a sequel, and that's pretty cool. Like to see it. Like to see people getting jobs, not losing them in these day and age.
Yeah,
I wonder if that website that tracks the layoffs now has to like get rid of the
has to
because technically they got they got their jobs back. I don't know. I hope so. That's
what is that? That's a page on Kotaku, I think.
Yeah, but how many people have lost their jobs this year? Yeah.
So this is joining. I'm on Krafton's website, which is running real slow right now. I assume because everyone's looking at it at the same moment. It is joining Striking Distance Studios, who made the Callisto Protocol. Joining PUBG Studios, Blue Hole Studios. This was my nickname in high school. Blue Hole will become a leading game production company in the MMORPG genre. Oh, so I guess they've yet to release their first studio. And then Rising Wings, the most widely desired mobile game provider. Cool shit.
Cool shit.
Well, I'm glad they're coming back. I'm glad they live. I'm glad they have an opportunity to win me back with their second game. Maybe just when I hit the button, that's when the action happens. Boom. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to bring me in, baby. Glad to see this reversal of fortune that we are so used to in the last 18 months with just week after week. So-and-so gets laid off. So-and-so gets laid off. This whole company died. Everything you love is never coming back. And now we're just like, surprise. We scooped up one little lifeboat off the Titanic. Rose Dawson was on it. She had a jewel that was worth $1 trillion bajillion. And at 84 years old, she just goes and drops it in the toilet. Actually, no, sorry. It was an interview for her 100th birthday. So she was 100 years old. But it was 84 years later.
It's been 84 years. Yes.
It's been 84 years. She was 16 when I saw her boobies.
I guess
Send him the files, Chad. Send him the files.
In the chat, you can also see everyone else on this podcast also has access to the files and can easily share them too. So
nobody has any idea what we're talking about.
Who's at fault? Who's at fault? Let's move on to playtime, where we talk about what we played this week. Playtime, time. Adam, we already have a segment on this podcast that comes dangerously close to bigotry and hate crimes. That's the Cozy's Question Corner of the Week. And now you've gone and put something in here called the SS.
Yeah.
What is this about?
It's about a ship. The SS Marianne. It's a new ship that No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, so here's what happened, right? Lately, I just got in a mood. I was on Max, not HBO Max, because why would you keep the name that's recognizable to everybody?
Right.
Change it to something else. I was on Max, right? And I was like, I'm in a mood for some carnage. I'm in a mood for some superhero nonsense. And I was watching Suicide Squad. I watched James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And then I watched the David Ayer Suicide Squad movie just because, yeah, that's still a 5 out of 10. It makes you feel nothing at all movie. Holy hell. It is just a blank slate of a movie. But I got into the Suicide Squad and I was like, you know what else is Suicide Squad? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Your boy.
Oh, shit.
Did
you team up with Matt?
That's what the thing. I was like, that's right. Somebody played it, but I don't remember who. I went on the game and was looking for clans, but apparently you have to get an invite. You can't just join a clan. You have to. So, Matt, you want to send me an invite to join the Respawn Aimfire clan? Let me know.
I will say, when we get to me and talk about what I've been playing this week, there's a game on that list that very nearly was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that I decided not to get in favor of the game that I went with.
That's
because
so
I
wild.
also saw it was on sale.
Who
I
knew
didn't buy
that The Legend of Zelda
Oh.
Minish Cap originally started as Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League
As a
before
Suicide
that
Squad
developer
game.
decided, nah, that's not an IP we want to invest in. And then 30 years later,
Yeah.
Here we are.
20
No,
years
the
later,
thing,
whatever it was.
it was free. Amazon gave it away for free on like Amazon Prime Day or something.
oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
Hey,
It's been
hey,
sitting
hey.
here. I'm in the
When that
mood.
happens, when Amazon gives away a free game like that, what launcher do you get? Is it Epic Games? Is it Steam? Is it Luna?
It depends.
What is it?
That one specifically is an Epic game. So just
Okay.
like you link your account, your Epic and your Twitch account, and it just puts it on your Epic account.
Okay.
And you just launch it from there. So yeah, I have it on Epic. I've been playing it. Crazy thing about that game, I feel similar to the way I feel about Avengers, obviously in certain ways. Like the actual story and the actual characters and the cutscenes is like, oh no, this is Rocksteady. This is good shit. Like the action, like every voice actor is amazing. They do the thing where like you walk up to something and then it transitions. You know, like God of War would do like the singular cut where it like transitions into. That's what they do all that shit. And it's like, oh, this story here is cool. These characters are cool. It's just like, okay, now I have to protect this bus for the third time. You know, today. Like that's the kind of shit that's boring, but I'm like, there definitely is a good idea here, and there's production value that is good. But like once I finish this main story, I'm like, I don't want to do any of this end game content. I can already tell because I've already done a lot of it and it's boring. But
I think that's
if you
all
just
Matt
play,
wants to do though, is do
well,
on-game
that's all he's got
content.
left. I mean, I do have to unlock Freeze and Jokers, so maybe I'll have to do a little bit of it. But I will say the actual base game I do enjoy. Like this is, I just definitely see where they fucked up. It's like if you would have kept this as just like a single player, not single player, if you let it as like a co-op, like here's 15 to 20 hours and that's going to be the game and everything is a little more varied, I think the game would have been really, really good. But I think because they tried to force it into a live service model, I can just see wearing real thin. Because when you're playing, it's cool, but I can feel like, oh, when I'm doing, again, this exact same thing for the 17th time, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Especially because there won't be any more cutscenes or any more good stuff with the characters, so it really won't matter at that point.
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing describes my experience with Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah,
where, like,
exactly.
That game had a surprisingly competent story, good writing, great performances. The combat mechanics themselves felt very fine. There are some great set pieces, and it's just, yeah, whenever you would get into the humdrum of, oh, you got to go kill 50 guys, you got to go shoot 30 buses. I don't think you were shooting buses in that
Shoot
game. but-
30
the Avengers.
buses. Hey, Iron Man, let's put you to work and start shooting school buses full of kids.
But you get the idea. That game, a surprisingly like competent and enjoyable game in moments that just was bogged down by a lot of bullshit.
And
other
here's
moments.
the
Until
thing.
you have to start doing those hives that are 50 layers deep, and then you get 38 levels deep into it, and you hit a bug that makes you have to restart that whole fucking hive again.
That's dumb.
I mean, it was a hive. You should have expected a bug.
Very good. Very good. The funny thing is, though, that we were talking about the Avengers single players, Suicide Squad is better than that. Like straight up, the actors, the polish, the character models, the story is just much better than the Avengers. Point blank, period. But again, it's
Wow.
going to run into that same problem where I'm going to be bored with it. So yes, Matt, maybe we'll try to grind out and get Mrs. Freeze or whatever this season. I have no problem playing with you.
Wait,
But I'm like, I
Mrs.
enjoy
Freeze
this
is in
game.
it?
But yeah, so I'm not going to go into it. It does Elseworlds like Earth 2, Earth 17,
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
So there's a Mrs. Freeze instead of Mr. Freeze.
Oh, and her
And that's why
husband's,
Joker's
like,
in it, because
almost dead
this-
somewhere and just cryogenically frozen.
No. But this is the thing where it's like, this is the Arkham universe. Like they talk about it in the story, like, oh yeah, remember when Batman revealed who he was whenever Scarecrow made him do that, and then we all thought he was dead for 7 years? It's like, oh, that's just what happened in Arkham Knight. They're just talking about what happens in Arkham Knight. So Joker's dead, but there's an Elseworld version of Joker.
Sure,
That's how you get Joker back. But yeah, no, it's actually, I feel like it's going to be a disappointment when I get to the end. I'm like, fuck, this is why this game got fucking 5s and 6s, because this could have been way better. But so far, having fun. I'm telling you, Samoa Joe as King Shark, fucking great choice. Love him. And then I can finally talk more in depth about Deathbound, which is a game I previewed last week, which is the Souls-like party-based game where you
I
have
downloaded
4
the demo, even though I played the demo at PAX.
download it again. And now full reviews, we're allowed to talk about full reviews and everything. I played a lot more of it. And it's the same thing. I like the idea of someone being like, hey, we like Souls games. How about we do a story and you play with 4 people in a party? And like, that's the little hook and whatever. And the game right now sitting is a 65 on Metacritic. Honestly feels fair. Because the more I got into the game, again, I like everything they're doing, but you can feel that it doesn't have like the biggest budget in the world. And there are parts about the mechanics that like aren't as tight as I want them to be, right? Especially coming off the back of like playing Elden Ring as the last one of these I played.
Yeah.
And doing that. It's like, it's a tough comparison, but it is the comparison because Shadow of the Tree just came out. So I think if you are a fan of Souls games, like if you were like, oh man, I love playing Lies of P, I love playing Neo, if you like playing these kinds of games, this is a different and interesting one, but it is indie. So like I will put that all out there. So I enjoyed it. It was a fun time, but you've got to be into that this genre of games. But if it is, yeah, definitely a chance, especially because it's out on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It's like $30. I definitely say, yeah, if there's a demo, try out the demo, and if you like the demo, the game is more of that. So
do you have an idea of how long it is?
It's about 20 to 30 hours.
Okay.
For the campaign. So, yeah, I think it's good. I enjoy it, but again, you've got to be into it. It can't just be this will be the one that brings me in, because if that's the case, go play Elden Ring. But yeah, those are the two things that I played over the last week: Suicide Squad and Deathbound. What a crazy week!
Crazy week. All right, speaking of crazy, let's go to Cozy. By the way, Cozy, I figured out who it is.
Cozy.
Blessing says Cozy Games a lot on Kind of Funny content.
He does.
And so, yeah, I was listening to a KFGD the other day, and he said Cozy like 4 times in 2 minutes. And I was just like, I was getting shocked every single time. Like, what? Cozy? Cozy Bear?
Yeah. Understandable. Send him the files, Chad. So, talking about what I've been playing this past week.
But her emails. That's the files are now her emails.
So you might remember that I completed the BioShock 1 challenge rooms on PlayStation 4 last week. This week I was like, I wonder if I want to complete these same challenge room trophies on the PlayStation 3 version of the game. And I was like, how much is it? $10? Fuck it, let's do it. And so I completed the BioShock 1 challenge rooms on PlayStation 3. A little bit more challenging this time around because the PlayStation 3 version ran at a much lower frame rate. And I don't actually know this to be 100% true, but I'm pretty certain that in the PlayStation 3 version, when you do any of the hacking mini games inside the vending machines, the game's timer, because all these challenges are timed, the timer doesn't stop, whereas it does temporarily pause in the PlayStation 4 version. So I had to accommodate for that as I was completing the challenges. But overall, pretty fun. Only took me a day this time around because I was so trained on how to properly complete them from the PS4 version. After doing that,
wait. Do you have the platinum already for the PS3 version of BioShock as well?
Yeah, I now have 100% of all trophies in BioShock 1 on PS3 and PS4.
That's impressive.
After that, I briefly booted up BioShock Infinite on PS3 because back in the day, I never got this one silver trophy for the game's combat-focused DLC, Clash in the Clouds. And I thought, oh, maybe I can jump into here real quick, take care of that last trophy. And I very quickly realized, ooh, I'm a little bit out of my depth because the way that game plays is different enough from the kind of core BioShock games that you can't immediately transfer your skills from one to the other. And so my plan is, not right away, but at some point in the future, I'm going to play through BioShock Infinite for the first time on the PlayStation 4, platinum it and its DLCs, and then go back and complete the one trophy that I never completed on the PS3 version. And this is one of those games, I will say, I'm really actually excited to eventually get back into Infinite because I've said a lot of shit on Infinite on the podcast before, and I've always had issues with it from day one. It's never a game I wholeheartedly loved from day one, but I definitely feel like a lot of my modern opinions on this game have been perhaps like overly influenced by the very kind of toxic Twitter discourse that often surrounds Infinite, which is often like, man, this is a shitty game and had no influence on anything aside from advancing technology and video game pornography, which that last point is technically true. And so I'm looking forward to, finally playing the game for myself in the modern day and formulating my own take on it.
Oh yeah, listen to me and John Hanson. That game is fucking great. I love it. Yeah. And also play Burial at Sea 1 and 2. Play both of those when you play it as well.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to discuss when we get to that. We will have a lot to discuss.
There's got to be. You have to imagine there's like either a remaster or remake of 1 on the way, or like a new 4K 60 trilogy or something like that.
I hope
some
so.
kind of new version of these along the way with BioShock 4. in
I
development,
hope
right?
so. I'll platinum all of them again.
Yes.
I'll
Isn't there
platinum
a-
them all
Fuck yeah.
again.
PS4, Xbox One remake of the collection?
Yeah, exactly.
There's
That's the
a- I
most
mean, it's-
recent
Talking about
versions
another
of the
collection.
games.
Well, it's
Oh.
like a HD upgrade. It's
How
not
about you
really
want,
not really a
full?
remake or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
So aside from that, I also
And hold on,
100%
and there's
completed,
the Netflix show coming out or movie coming out too. It's like you got a
Right.
synergy.
which we recently got
Synergy.
an update on about how apparently they were shrinking the budget of it ever so slightly, which we'll see how that turns out. What else? Oh yeah, I also 100% completed the Minish Cap, which is our barf game for the month of August. It is very, very, very redacted. Those are my thoughts on the game. I will say, and I'll talk more about this when we do our barf review of it, I'm very pleased that I played this game when I played it, just because what's it's called? Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. That game is about to come out a month from now. And I definitely now appreciate having the frame of reference of what a quote unquote standard game, standard Zelda game feels like. So I can definitely compare it off of that once that game comes out. So that's exciting.
There's something here. I'm going to give you the nugget of an idea, Alex.
Uh-oh.
Every time we have a barf game and you're like, you don't want to reveal your thoughts ahead of the episode, you do this, my thoughts are very redacted. I appreciate it. I think it's great. And then pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. I think we just call it pterodactyl. I don't know. There's something there. I don't know what it is.
My thoughts are very pterodactyl.
Maybe you put on a pterodactyl mask every time you say it. Maybe that's
There's
another
probably-
little
I'm
image
sure
that
that there's
pops
like
up similar to the kiwi.
I'm sure that there's like a VTuber thing I can do where like for a split second I make my body turn into like a 3D pterodactyl model.
Or you start to say it like, oh man, I really think the Minish Cap is, and then you have some kind of video of like a pterodactyl coming and attacking you to stop you from talking about it. The pterodactyl.
I mean, that I'm definitely down to figure that out. That sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
I'm just going to let you know.
But you quit
It
your
sounds
job,
like a lot
so
of work
You got nothing else
for
to do.
something that only occurs maybe once a month on a Respawning Fire podcast, and that only occurs for a few seconds.
Yeah.
But
Just remember,
anyways.
trademark Chad. So
Speaking of Game Boy Advance games, another game that I also played this week is I went and checked out a game that just released on Nintendo Switch Online by the name of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. Do either of you have any experience with any of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games?
no, I'm aware
I
of
just
their
know
existence.
that they're not as good.
I know I've seen their titles many times in my life, and I know now based on this dropping recently that you play as a Pokemon.
Yeah. So, okay, you know how the Pokemon games do the thing where it's like, oh, you have the red version of the Pokemon game and you have the blue version. You have red and blue, gold and silver, ruby and sapphire, so on and so forth. They did this back in the day with the first two entries in the series, but what was unique about it is that it was across consoles. So you had Red Rescue Team on the Game Boy Advance, and then you had Blue Rescue Team on the DS. And functionally, they were both basically the same game, which is to say a Game Boy Advance level game, but the blue version had like some extra functionality with like the touchscreen, for example.
That's right. They kept those around at the same, like they supported both consoles at the same time for a while because they were like, DS is its own thing. It's not really going to cannibalize our handheld market. And then they're like, just kidding. It is handheld. I forgot about that.
And so the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series is interesting because this is a series that Pokemon fans have a lot of love for, an intense amount of nostalgia for, that critics historically have really not liked. One of the later entries in the Mystery Dungeon series, which is called Explorers of the Sky, that released on the original DS a few years after this one, like infamously got like a 4.7 from IGN, like a really like terrible score. And people swear by that game, like with the same level of reverence that they swear by like the best of the mainline Pokemon games, like they swear by Heart Gold or Soul Silver, for example. And so after years of being away from the series, I was like very kind of excited to kind of jump back in this game and be like, did I misunderstand this series? Did I myself perhaps not fully kind of understand what made it so great back in the day? And after 2 hours of playing this game, I'm like, I don't hate this game. This isn't a 4.5 out of 10, but I can definitely kind of see why I myself never really connected to it and why critics have always had a tough time with it. Games have solid GBA level graphics, some surprisingly good writing, some surprisingly like kind of melancholic writing. You would think that like a game where you become a Pokemon and journey around with Pokemon would all be like sunshine and rainbows. And there's some surprisingly like dark motifs going on in this game.
You heard it here. Pokemon Sunshine and Rainbow are the next 2 games coming.
Probably will be. Some good music. The gameplay is where the series and where this game in particular sees like a little bit of a hit. The kind of process of traveling through its dungeons, because it's a kind of like mystery dungeon kind of rogue light experience where you have all these procedurally generated rooms that you're kind of like traveling through and fighting other Pokemon. It's not as fully baked as you wish it were. It's very easy to like instantly lose if you just find yourself in like a bad situation. The process of recruiting other Pokemon to your kind of party is very convoluted, and it's very hard to kind of like keep them in your party because you have to keep them alive until you get to the end of your dungeon. I'm not going to go on a super long rant right now because I do want to log more hours into this game, because I, at the end of the day, still saw the blue version of this game back in the day through to the end. But right now, I'm very mixed on it. But we will see how I feel when I come out on the other side. Last thing I want to talk about, something that I was definitely much less mixed on, is, Adam, you're going to be very happy about this one, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This is the other game.
Hold on. Prince of Persia Velociraptor? Pterodactyl? There's something here. There's a dinosaur
Too many
here.
dinosaurs. Too many
Prince
dinosaurs.
Persia is
on
a
the brain,
time
Chad.
bandit, though, Chad.
Oh. Triceratops skull.
Yeah, send him the files, Chad. So this is a game this is the other game that I saw discounted on the PlayStation Store alongside Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, about 50% discounted. And it's like, I could wait until this game is even more discounted on sale, but you know what? Might as well jump in now while we're still in the middle of a dearth of other big releases, and I am enjoying it so far. It is not like immediately one of my absolute games of the year, but typically the thing is with these Metroidvania games, it takes me a bit of a minute to kind of fully warm up to them, become fully familiar with their gameplay mechanics and systems before I can fully appreciate them and enter into the full state that they're nudging me towards. So I reserve any kind of complete judgment on them until later. But right off the bat, like the feel of the combat and platform mechanics are solid. Characters and writing are both entertaining, which I wasn't really expecting because I didn't see a lot of people really throwing praise towards the direction of the characters when the game came out. I felt like that was a little bit of a blind spot in terms of people talking about the game. Most importantly, though, this game's map is really, really good. It's so much better than it was in Tales of Kinzera Zao earlier this year, which, for the record, loved Tales of Kinzera Zao. I really appreciated it for being just a competently well-made game that had a very clear, focused vision and executed on that vision well without being the biggest, most expensive, elaborate production of all time. But that game had a really not great map for a Metroidvania, and so I really appreciate how much better this one is by comparison. And yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Was that one? I think I missed this. Which one was going to be Suicide Squad? Was it Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia.
Okay. Cool. Great. Moving on to me. First off, saw the Borderlands movie for some reason this weekend. It is not a 0% Rotten Tomatoes movie. There are, much worse movies out in the world. This movie is it's a nothing movie. It is a good, not great, not even awesome, but a good early 2000s video game movie. The problem is it's 2024 and we have standards now.
Technically, Chad, Borderlands is currently at a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Great.
Not 0%.
It debuted at 0.
Would you call it a 9% movie?
It debuted at 0. No, I would call it like a 30 or a 40%, which is still rotten. Like, I don't suggest seeing it, but it is an old version of a video game movie made nowadays with the fucking like the people in it. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett, you got Jack Black, you got Kevin Hart. The problem is that this game, I think this was probably the first game that I ever played that made me laugh out loud a lot and made me realize, oh, video games can be funny. And I literally laughed 0 times in this theater. I smirked 1 time at something Claptrap said. No laugh though. So yeah, disappointed by that, but yeah, not terrible, but definitely like it's gonna come to Netflix and you're gonna watch it there in the background while you're, I don't know, cleaning your house or something like that. That's the kind of movie this is.
Well, watch it be the #1 movie on Netflix, though.
It will. God, what movie? What was it? Fucking
Madam Web.
Oh, Madam Web, yes. And Morbius. Morbius became a thing. People fucking went to the theaters to support that thing several times. That was garbage.
Well, they allegedly did.
Fucking A. What is T?
You know how, sorry, real quick. You know how like a month ago, Jack Black had to apologize because the other guy in Tenacious D made some comment about the Trump shooting and basically was like, yeah, we're like semi-splitting up or whatever. Do you think he had to do it because of this movie?
I don't think so. I think it was a joke about killing a former president is probably the reason that he was like, maybe we can't hang out.
Yeah. Probably the support of political violence was probably the thing that did it. Yeah.
The whole kind of conspiracy is that apparently in the moment when it happened, Jack Black like laughed along and was like, haha,
oh, he definitely
funny.
Did. He absolutely laughed during.
I'm sure it was like probably like nervous laughter, like, fuck, I can't believe he just said that. Ha 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 ha. What do we do now?
I don't think being in you know what actors do when they're in bad movies? They cash the paycheck and never talk about it again.
You know that I don't even know who fucking produced this movie. It was all no-name production companies at the beginning. You know they knew it sucked because I never saw a billboard for this thing. I never saw a trailer for this movie outside of Twitter. And I go and see at least 1 movie a week, and it never showed before any other movie I saw. And when I went to go get tickets for it, it was like the 11th movie down the list. Even though it was what's in Dolby, it was what's in Prime, there were versions of it in IMAX. Like, it was the big thing coming out that weekend, but I had to scroll a long way to see it. So you know whoever made it just didn't want people to see it.
The really interesting, I mean, someone's going to do like a whole podcast about that movie, but I think it was like, actually like Craig Mazin was writing it and then they fired him. Yeah, here I'm on the Wikipedia. Craig Mazin wrote the screenplay and was supposed to direct it. They got rid of him for Eli Roth. And then once Eli Roth came on, the companies were like, how about we don't budget the marketing for this movie because it's not going to be good. Like, they already knew it was bad. Produced by was Avi Arad, you know, that guy.
Who did all of the fucking
and
Morbius, yeah, all the
shit.
Marvel non-MCU movies.
They kind of knew it was going to be bad, so they were like, just put it out, whatever, who gives a shit. Eli Roth making a fucking Borderlands
He's the
movie.
Evil Dead guy? Is that who that is?
No, he did Hostel and that kind of shit.
Oh, Hostel, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thrasher. Playing more Thrasher. I mentioned, I was like, hey, I played like 15 minutes of it last time. I have actually played 5 out of the last 7 days. I've played 5 days. I've played Thrasher for at least 10, 15 minutes a day, which is more than I've used my Vision Pro when I'm not on an airplane since probably I got it. So yeah, I'm enjoying that game a lot. So again, that's the VR game. Oh, I lied last week. Apparently it's not coming to PlayStation VR at all. And it is only a Quest and Apple Vision Pro thing and maybe Steam VR. Didn't feel like making good on my lie enough to actually look up on Google.
I'll look it up for you.
Thanks.
God, you type in Thrasher, apparently there's a magazine.
I bet that's a sexy magazine.
I mean, Thrasher is on Steam, so I'm assuming
it's on Steam. Okay. There was also the thing with Thumper where like you could play, like it came out in VR and then eventually you could play a 2D version of it, even though that was like the whole point of the thing was
to be
the immersive, amazing, like you're in this giant void with these weird monsters and shit. Anyway, yeah, still liking that game a bunch. What is MC? Oh, Minish Cap. That's our barf game. Hey, if you are a patron over at patreon.com/respawningfire, you get to influence what we play every single month by voting on our barf game for the month. That's our backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends game. As Alex mentioned, we are playing the Minish Cap on Game Boy Advance. And I got that physical cartridge in the mail this week and plugged it in my analog pocket fucking looks beautiful as hog wild on a porcupine. It looks
Ooh,
good.
I like it.
And so I love that little analog pocket. Also has the battery life of a fucking bumblebee. It just keeps going. It just
Ooh.
keeps
Is that a
going.
lot or
Oh,
little?
okay.
I can't tell.
I have not turned on my analog pocket in a few months. Turned it on to play this game without having to charge it, and it was just like, what's up? So ready to go.
I saw one of those in the wild, by the way. Maybe a week or two ago. I was like, fuck, I forgot how nice that screen looks. Because some lady
It is
had it
so
on
good.
and like was playing something. I was like, oh yeah, that screen is gorgeous. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What a good device.
I can't wait. I'm going to play part of it. I have the Nintendo Switch Online SNES Bluetooth controller, which you can use with the dock. So I'm going to play it in glorious 4K on my OLED TV with an SNES controller.
Hey.
It's going to be great.
Ooh.
Destiny 2 Solstice event. I'm not going to talk about that. More Solstice, Papa John's. Oopa. I am
Oompa.
officially, you all are podcast co-hosts with the ultimate party animal. And
Okay.
for those of you who aren't in the know, that is the final side quest in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that you get towards the very end of the game. And you have to, there's a Shinra middle manager who basically has that dancing disease that killed a lot of people back in London or UK or whatever it was a long time ago, where he's just like in the gold saucer, just constantly dancing. And his name is Shinra middle manager. And he's just like, I bet you can't beat me in all my scores to become the ultimate party animal. And so you have to go to all the mini games in the gold saucer and beat his score, which is already higher than the expert level score on the highest score on the expert level thing of all it. So yeah, I fucking did it. I spent what am I think I'm at like 125 hours now. So I spent 14 hours since last week cleaning up some trophies. I only have like 4 left to go. It's basically just hard mode. I have to pick up like 3 things for a hotel and do some combat simulator, and I'm done. Which is, and the hard mode itself is going to be probably
An entire another playthrough.
Yeah, I mean it's chapter select, and you can skip the cutscenes and all that kind of stuff. But
it's true.
But yeah, it's going to be probably another 50, 60 hours probably. But I am max level, so it's going to be easy as shit. So yeah, I'm Upa, and then the last thing. VFVB, Virtual Friends, Virtual Boy. There is a new emulator on iOS and iPad and Mac and Vision Pro for the Virtual Boy. And for the first time ever, you can play it in stereoscopic 3D like the original Virtual Boy in Vision Pro. So I downloaded this thing, paired up my DualSense controller with my Vision Pro, and I downloaded, allegedly somehow, 22 Virtual Boy games got onto my Vision Pro somehow, because there are only ever 22 games ever made, only 14 in the US and an extra 8 in Japan. And it is fucking, first of all, it's glorious to see the fidelity that this emulator runs at with stereoscopic 3D. And they also even have, like, you can do the slider in the emulator to adjust the eye distance, just like you could on the original unit. So yeah, I tried out a little bit of Tetris 3D, which is not just 2D Tetris in a 3D plane, but it's actually like the board flips and you're playing it in X, Y, and Z axes. Played a little bit of Wario Land, Virtual Boy Wario Land, which is the only game I've ever seen, the only time I've ever put a Vision Pro on my eyeballs, not a Vision, God damn it, a Virtual Boy on my eyeballs was when I was probably, I guess this came out in 96, I think it was. So I was 6 years old at a Best Buy, and I put it on my eyeballs, and I played like 3 seconds of Wario Land. And that's all I've known about Virtual Boy my whole life. And now I finally got to play those same 3 seconds again. And I was really impressed, honestly. Like, it is stereoscopic 3D. They use the parallax effect of the different planes so that it really feels like you're scrolling and looking in 3D. They play into the gimmick as your 2D platforming as Wario. They have like these giant wrecking balls flying way out of the screen, and then they come way into the screen, and you have to dodge them so they're like coming close to your face. So yeah, I was really impressed, honestly. So it doesn't feel like it's just it is a little bit of a gimmick, but I'm probably gonna play through all of at least Wario Land Played a little bit of
That's
Mario
cool.
Tennis too, and like seeing that tennis ball going in and out close to your face and far away from your face.
Did you play Nestor's Funky Bowling?
Did not play Nestor's Funky Bowling yet.
Ah.
I did play a Japanese Gundam game because I know
Oh.
Matt's really into Gundams, and I was going to take some screenshots, but then I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this game. And I think it looks like maybe it's an RTS game, but I can't really understand what's going on, and it's in Japanese. So didn't get to do that at all. But yeah, super cool that exists now.
Cool.
So that's a thing you can download and try out allegedly on your devices.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And is that everything on my list? Did I talk about it? Yeah, I talked about everything. Great. And that brings us to Not Cozy's Question Corner. We are doing
Sing it.
segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. Segment. That is the Animal Planet Animail song. Between shows, they would have a segment called Animail, and it was like kind of like the mail time on Blue's Clues.
Like you'd write letters to the Animal Planet
Yeah,
people?
and it'd just be a guy that goes, Animail time, Animail, and they would just read like write-ins from people.
Learning
between
was
shows.
fun. I love that. All right, so today's segment for Matt. By the way, Chad, I sent you a text message. You're going to die when you open it. This
Should I
this
die
week-
on stream? Otherwise, it's going to be like that movie Smile.
It's up to you. We're going to play a little round of How Long to Beat. How Long to Beat the quiz
Ooh.
show. So, for those of you who don't know, How Long to Beat is a website where it tells you how long it takes to beat a game. Main quest, side quest, completionist, all that good stuff, right? So, what I have now, it's themed summer blockbusters. You guys both have two prompts, two games, where you have to tell me how long is the main quest, how long is the main plus sides, how long is completionist, how long is the user score, or what is the user score. Closer you get to it, the more points you get. If you're within 5, I tell you. If you're within 10, I tell you. If you're outside of 10, I tell you. And you have one cheat, which is I give you an answer whenever you say, hey, this one time, give me one of these answers correctly. Who wants to go first and who wants to go second? Again, I put these ahead of time. They're not in any particular order, but based on where you pick to go is what the games that you will be getting.
Call it, Alex.
Do you want first or second, Alex?
I'll go first.
Alex gets first. So again, like I said, these are all summer blockbuster based. These are specifically from the last week's box office numbers, right? I'm like, oh, here are things that are related to things. You'll make sense in a second. So, number 1 movie of the week for last week was Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, man, there has to be games that feature either Deadpool and or Wolverine. You know, everyone loves a superhero team up. It's a fun time. And I was like, you know what's even better? Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. Cozy,
Aw.
in honor of Deadpool and Wolverine, I need you to give me the How Long to Beat informations for Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League.
And I have the lifeline thing that I can use?
You have one
if I want to?
lifeline where you get one answer one time.
Okay, and this is across every single instance that I'll play this game, or just for this one?
You have two questions, so you can use it one time in between your two questions.
Across two. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to say that main story is 15 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to say that main plus sides is 25 hours. I'm going to say that completionist is 49 hours. And I'm going to say that user score is 59.
And if someone wants to do a score in our
right.
document, that'd be great. Cool. So, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Cozy, your guess for the main, you are within 5.
Okay.
For main plus sides, you are outside of 5, but within 10.
Okay.
Obviously, is what that means. Completionist, you are within 5. User score, you are within 5. Very
Okay.
good guessing round.
In that case, I will only change my main plus side score.
Mhm.
I am. Ooh. I'm trying to think,
You guessed 25, it is outside of 5.
right. I'm gonna go with 31.
Okay. Main story in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is 11 hours. So that would be 6 points for Cozy
Okay.
on the first one. Main plus sides is actually 19. You moved away, got yourself 0 points on that one. Completionist is 45 hours. Give yourself another 6 points for that one for being 4 away. And the user score is a 55.
Okay.
So that is also another 4 away. So give yourself 6 points for that. What is his total after round 1, Chad?
18 points, Adam.
Yeah, 666.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beast. Well,
Number
6066.
Harley Quinn would be very proud. All right, next up. Another movie that came to theaters this last week. It was very low on the box office mojo numbers, but that is Borderlands. And we're going to guess Borderlands 1, Chad. You're going for Borderlands 1.
Borderlands 1. All right.
Based on the movie Borderlands, I suppose.
Based on the movie Borderlands, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. Main quest, I'm going to say, is 22 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to say main plus sides, 42. Wait. It's main plus sides, completionist.
And then completionist.
Okay, yeah. And then user score. Okay.
And then user score. Mm-hmm.
Completionist, we're going to go with 58.
Okay.
User score of 81.
All right. The main quest, you are within 5. Main plus sides, you are within 10. Completionist, you are out. Nope, you're within 5, actually. I was going to say you're outside of 10. I'm confusing the numbers on my screen. So no. Main, you're within 5. Excuse me. Main plus sides within 10. Completionist within 5. User score within 5. You guys are killing it with the guys this round.
We're tit for tat, the exact same thing.
Tit for tit, baby.
So what do you want to do here,
Jungle
Chad?
to jungle, titty for titty. Let's go.
By the way, what would they name a jungle to jungle sequel? You know what I'm saying? There's already 2 in the middle of it.
Jungle for jungle.
Maybe.
Jungle 22 jungle.
No,
22 Jump Street jungle.
Jungle, and then like the 2 thing, like to the power of 2.
Oh, which is actually
jungle
4.
Squared.
Yeah, jungle squared. Okay. Anyways, Chad,
jungle,
make any changes?
Jungle.
Jungle Jim.
We're gonna push. I'm trying to remember. I don't feel like there's much more outside of side quests to get completionists in this thing, so I'm gonna push that up. I'm gonna say main plus sides is actually 49.
Okay. Keeping everything else the same?
And then we're going to take completionist down to 56.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. The main quest for Borderlands, the original one, not the movie, is 23 hours. Give yourself 9 points for that one.
Hell yeah, that's badass.
Main plus sides, 35 hours.
Oh, butthole sex.
You actually moved yourself away from points, so give yourself 0 for that one. Completionist is 63 hours, which puts you at, what is that, 2 points? Because you're 8 away? No, wait a minute. 4? 7. 3 points, because you're 7 away.
Yeah.
And user score is a 76, so give yourself 5 points for being 5 away.
All right.
There you go. What is your
17
score?
points. I'm 1 behind Cozy right now.
Neck and neck. You guys changing stuff up kind of screwed you over a little bit.
Yeah.
Next up, Cozy. Another movie.
Yes.
I believe it was like number 3 or 4 this week. I don't have it open anymore. Twisters. Twisters, the sequel to the Bill Paxton vehicle Twister from the early 90s, mid-90s. I'm like, what is a game that features Twisters in it? I was like, oh, there's actually a Twister mobile game from 2001. I'm just kidding. That doesn't exist. Your game is Just Cause 4 because there are tornadoes and weather in it.
Yes, there are.
So Just Cause 4, what are the how long to beat for that one?
Man, talk about a series I have no frame of reference for.
Do you have a frame of reference for Twister?
Not as much. Probably more than... because I'm pretty sure I watched like a Nostalgia Critic review of Twister back in the day.
Great.
But I've never watched a review of any of the Just Cause games. I'm going to say for main story, we're going to go with 18.
Okay.
For main plus sides, I'm going to go with 25.
All right.
For completionist, we're going to go with 35.
Okay.
And for user score, I'm going to go with 72.
Okay, now do remember, you guys both have a cheat. So if you want to use one or not use one, that's up to you. But this would be your last chance to do it.
Okay.
All right. So your main...
What was 35. Completionist
okay,
was 35. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking at that. Yeah. So your main is within 5.
Okay.
Your main plus sides is within 5. Your
Okay.
completionist is outside of 10.
Okay.
And your user score is within 10.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead. It's really Sophie's choice of which one I want to go with here. I'm going to use... Oh, wait a minute. Is the lifeline something randomly selected?
It will be randomly selected. I mean, you might as well, because I'll just roll.
Yeah,
I'll just roll.
I was going to say, let's do the lifeline.
All right, random number 1, 2, 4. Minimum 1. All right, let me generate random number. Okay, so I am giving you the correct answer for main plus sides is 28. It was random.
Okay.
It is what it is. So you're very close, but it is actually 28.
more points on the board. More
Yes.
points on the board.
So now, yeah, you know the rest of that, though.
Outside of 10. Outside of 10. I mean, it can't be 25 because no game has ever functioned like that. So I'm gonna go with, you know what? It worked for me fine last time. I'm gonna go at 49 for this one as well.
Changing completionist to 49?
Completionist. Yes.
Okay.
And for user score, I'm going to go with 66 on this. Because I can't see people doing like, higher than 72, but I've also never played this game. Anyways.
Gotcha, no problem. The main quest for Just Cause 4 featuring Twisters, not Bill Paxton, is exactly 18 hours. Nailed it.
Wow.
10 points for that one. Main plus sides, I gave you the correct answer, so 10 points as well for main plus sides. Completionist is 54 hours, so give yourself 5 points for being 5 away from that. Very good move.
Okay.
And the user score is a 63. Give yourself 7 points for moving closer to it.
All right.
So that is 32 points this round, which brings you to round 50.
Whew. Good round.
Whew.
Chad is
all right.
got to make up some ground here, but you definitely have a chance to try to win it all. So Chad also came out last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, a little movie by a horror director, an acclaimed movie starring your favorite actor of all time. I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, featuring Josh Hartnett.
Nah.
Don't you like Josh Hartnett? Wasn't that the joke? Or was it your teacher
my 7th
that
grade history teacher was obsessed with him and had posters all over the classroom.
Yes, Josh Hartnett is in
But
Trap.
there's a reason he hasn't been in anything in a while, because I saw that movie and he was terrible in it.
Well, you might ask, is there a video game based on the movie Trap? No, but there is a video game called Night Trap 25th Anniversary. So I've decided to give you Night Trap 25th Anniversary in lieu of an actual Trap by M. Night Shyamalan video game. So yeah, Night Trap 25th Anniversary. By the way, these are all rounded up, if any of these were halves, because I think one of these was half, so I did round them all up.
Lifeline, please.
Now, do you want to guess first and then use your lifeline like Cozy did? So
No.
maybe, I mean, it's random regardless, but...
I'm going to use my lifeline to inform the rest of it.
Okay, makes sense. It is, I'm sorry, it's a 4, which means it is your user score, by the way, it's a 49. So
all right.
You're going to get 10 points for your whatever. Yeah, this is the 25th anniversary. Came out for like Switch and whatever in 20... I think it's like 17.
I would have honestly never guessed that low on a user score anyway, so I'm kind of glad that was the one that I got. But I also don't know much about this game other than it's FMV, and it's old.
It's an FMV.
Which means I can't imagine it's very long because you can't fit that much video on floppy disks. So I'm going to guess that main quest is 4 hours.
Okay.
Main plus sides is 6.
All right.
Completionist is 9. And then I already know the user score.
Yeah. Not a huge help, but they're all within 5.
Ooh. Hmm. I'm going to bring completionist down to 8.
Okay.
Final answer.
That's everything. All right. This is for the whole enchilada, a thing that Deadpool and Wolverine enjoy. Or it's more chimichangas. Anyways.
Well, it turns out, surprise, I read this on Twitter the other day, the person who co-created Deadpool actually said in the very first time that he mentions chimichangas, he actually doesn't like the chimichangas. He just likes to think the word chimichanga a lot.
He does like saying weird
does
words.
not like chimichangas.
Well, he evolved as a person. He enjoys them now. The main quest, according to How Long to Beat, for Night Trap 25th anniversary is 2 hours. So give yourself 8 points, right? Because you're 2-way, 8 points.
Yep.
Main plus sides is a whopping 4 hours. Give yourself another 8 points because you get 6 on that one. And completionist is 8 hours. Give yourself 10 points.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
As well for that one. So Chad,
the Cinderella story of the century.
Now also, Cozy, keep an eye on him because sometimes Chad adds up the winner and doesn't do it correctly. Just saying that for any
only
particular
patrons
reason.
know that one.
Yeah.
All right, so there's 36 points, which brings me to 46.55 total.
Ooh, I believe we have a new...
Yeah.
No,
that
I
is-
lied.
that is
53,
accurate.
53.
53?
53.
Which
Either way,
still
I won.
makes
Is it?
Chad the winner of this week's
That's
segment
correct,
from
yes.
Adam.
No.
Correct. It is 53.
Good job. Chad, you won on this How Long to Beat the Quiz Show, the game. All based on movies that just came out. Every one of them has a direct correlation to movies that are in theaters now. Go out and enjoy your local Cinemark or Regal Theater.
Woo! Eat my butt, Cozy! All right.
All right.
Well, thanks, Adam, for that little segment. That brings us to Game On Game Show. The Game on Our Gaming Show, we play a game called Game On, the Gaming Show on our Game Show. Game. Remember what a good sport I just was as we do TMI with NPD, and Alex holds my life and fate in his hands.
Thank you, Chad. Today we are doing TMI with NPD for the year 2018. This is, of course, our reoccurring segment in which we attempt to suss out what the top 10 best-selling games of each year were per the NPD group / Circana in each year for the past several decades. The rules. Any sport game is out of play, and the length of the list will be lengthened to reflect the amount of sport games that were in the top 10. This year's Call of Duty is out of play, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is out of play. Normally, the Chad lock would be in play, but Chad beat me in the previous game. So just for this time around, the Chad lock is out of play.
Impartial judge.
All right. This list has a total of 12 entries. Are we ready?
By the way, we're coming up real close to real time, everyone.
I know,
We'll be
right?
there.
Never thought we'd make it.
Yeah, there we
Looks
are.
like we
All right.
made it.
Number 12. The 12th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD group / Circana is an action-adventure game. It is not a sequel to one of the best-selling Nintendo games of the year prior. Its protagonist
What is that about?
circumnavigates the Peloponnesian War. And it was developed and published by Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Shit.
There we go.
I was like, what is the
Fuck yeah.
subtitle?
There we go.
Got
Chad got 1 point
That
on the
Nintendo
board.
thing. It was like, well, threw me for a loop. It was like, what the
But
fuck?
now
am I
you
thinking?
understand. Now you understand. All right. The 11th best-selling game of the year 2018
got it.
per
Mario
the
Odyssey.
NPD
Got
group.
it. Okay.
Mario Odyssey. Per the NPD group / Circana is Grand Theft Auto 5. For a
Grand Theft
bonus
Auto 5.
point. Yes. For a bonus point, can you tell me 3 things that are on the cover of the Grand Theft Auto 5 box art that are not humans?
Helicopter, car, sniper
Helicopter,
rifle.
rocket launcher,
Adam said helicopter, cars, and
Sniper rifle.
tank top.
Gun.
And
Money.
SMG.
Chad said,
I said helicopter, tank top, and money.
okay. Well, I appreciate you guys not having too much overlap, so I'll give you both a point on this one.
Okay. I
So
like it.
Chad has 1 point, Adam has 1 point.
Well, let me put points
Were
in
those
here.
all on it?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
They
they
were.
were. That's funny.
All right. Actually, wait, hold on a sec. Actually,
Is there not a gun on the cover?
No, there are definitely guns on the cover. I don't know if there's actually a tank top on this one.
No one wearing a tank top? I guess she's in a swimsuit.
Hold up. Well, so here's the thing. That character is on the box art, but her phone is covering any clothes that she might be wearing. Now, here's the thing. There is a character on a jet ski in the cover of the box art.
Mm-hmm.
If you can bring up the box art of Grand Theft Auto 5 right now, do you think that quantifies?
Let me look it up.
As a tank top.
Well, I mean, we already gave me the point, so like we can't go back on that now.
No, we need to be legitimate. We need to be.
She is.
As
that's
legal
not
as
the
we
game
possibly
cover box.
can.
Hold on.
The guy on the, because that's I think it's Michael.
Yeah,
and he's got he looks like he's got armor on, but he also I mean, it's more of a t-shirt, but I'll give it to Chad.
All right, if Adam wants to allow it, I will allow it.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Damn, that
Number
sniper
10.
rifle, I fucking nailed that shit.
The 10th.
Now that I already have the
best-selling-
point, that's 100% a t-shirt with like one of those gun holster
Bulletproof
vests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time for number 10. The 10th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is a role-playing game. It's a game that takes place in a fictionalized version of a region of Japan. It is a Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
That is correct.
Fuck yeah.
Chad has
Fuck
3 points on the
yeah.
board.
I never would have got that. 0% chance.
Number 9. The 9th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is the latest entry in a series that debuted in 2004. It's a game in which players are encouraged to play together with up to 4 other players online. It is a game that takes place in large environmental spaces that are fully connected to each other, as opposed to the zones that were necessary for the series back when it was on the PlayStation 2 and handheld consoles, like the PSP or 3DS. And it is a game developed by Capcom.
Monster
Hunter World.
It is Monster Hunter World. That's a point on the board for Adam.
Ooh.
All right. Number 8. The 8th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is the latest entry in a series that debuted in 2005. It is a game that does not have a number in its title, but often has a number in its title when people talk about it. It is a game that stars a character.
God of War 2018?
That is correct.
Yeah.
There we go. Point for Chad. All right, number 7. The 7th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is an open-world action game. Its cover art parodies a famous Leonardo da Vinci painting. It takes place in Hope County, Montana. Far Cry 5 is the correct answer. It's a point on the board for Adam. Number 6. The 6th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is another open world game. This is like open world mania at this point. Unlike the prior entry on this list, this game takes place in an actual real location.
Spider-Man.
In the United. That is correct. It is Marvel's
Michael Fucker.
Spider-Man, developed by Insomniac Games. All right. Number 5. The 5th best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is Madden NFL 19.
Madden NFL 19.
Now, here's the thing. You might remember that last year's Madden NFL 18, featured a story mode called Long Shot. This year's Madden also featured a story mode. Can you tell me what its title was?
Long Shot as well.
Long Shot 2.
You guys are actually somewhat close, but you're both incorrect.
It's a continuation of the story. I just don't remember the name of it.
I'm going to count that as Chad's second guess, and he is also incorrect. Adam, can you cinch it?
No, I can't remember what. I'll just say The Longest Shot.
No.
I don't
It
know what
is Long Shot, Homecoming.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew there was a follow-up. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck the name of it is.
When did Spider-Man Homecoming come out? Is that the same thing?
Close.
Was Spider-Man
The year
Madden?
before. It came out in 2017, so very close.
Okay.
All right. Number 4. The fourth best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is a game that features Robin and Joker. It features...
Gotham Knights.
That is incorrect. It features a song that Chad has quote-unquote sung many times. It is a fighting game.
Injustice 2?
That is incorrect. And it is a Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Smash Brothers Ultimate?
That is correct.
Oh, I
It
see
is
we do
Smash
this
Brothers
Robin and
Ultimate.
Joker.
Oh, you tricky son of a bitch.
You little tricky guy.
Yeah,
Robin
featuring
from
Robin from
fucking
Fire
Fire
Emblem
Emblem.
and Joker from Persona 5.
You slithery snake.
All right. Number 3. The third best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is NBA 2K19.
NBA 2K19.
For a bonus point, can you tell me the name of the studio under 2K
Vicarious
that
Visions.
develops?
Vicarious
That is
Visions.
incorrect.
Oh.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
as well.
incorrect?
That develops the NBA 2K games and develops NBA 2K19.
Basketball people.
That's 2 for
That
Chad.
is also incorrect.
Oh my god, I can see the logo, and I feel like either Vicarious or Vision is in the name, but I can't. Visual Concepts?
That is correct.
Oh, it is
That
visual.
is
Okay.
actually the
I
correct
knew it was
answer.
some visual
Give
or
yourself
Vicarious something.
a bonus point for that one.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. The second best-selling game of the year 2018 per the NPD Group / Circana is this year's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
For a bonus point, can you guess which it was?
Call
Black
Ops
Ops
3.
4.
It was Black Ops
4.
4.
That's what I said.
Adam, give yourself a point.
Ooh.
This is the Black Ops game that really annoys me because they use the non-correct Roman numeral version of 4, where it's just 4.
It's 3 dashes.
I think.
Or
Yeah.
4 dashes, yeah. It's fucking
Oh, it's
stupid.
the tally
Anyways.
4. They moved from
Yeah.
Roman numerals to tallies
Yeah.
for one game.
And here we go.
Red Dead
the
2.
number one.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, I said it for him.
And you said Red Dead 2.
I mean, either way, Adam still wins.
I want to
But
hear
it
your clues for this one, by the way.
is one of the few non-Call of Duty games to occupy the number one spot on these lists over the past decade. It's an open world game, it's a sequel, and it features advanced horse testicle physics.
Good one. That's a good last one. I like
Yeah.
it very much.
That is the end of the list. And of course, Adam is the winner on this one. Some other interesting highlights from further up on the list that stood out to me. At number 14, a game that recently saw a bit of a surge of popularity, Fallout 76. Forgot that game came out this year. And at number 18, it's always,
Wait, is that not
always
free
a
to play?
little surprising.
No, it wasn't at the time.
Not at the time. And at number 18, a little surprised, but not overly surprised, because obviously this is a very popular franchise. Dragon Ball Fighters at the number 18 slot.
Oh.
People really like that game.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got a question for you. I don't know if it's
Yes.
in front of you on your list. Where's Detroit Become Human? Is it on this list?
Let's
That was
see.
2018 as well, right?
Yes. I don't think that Detroit
probably
Become
didn't
Human
chart.
is here.
It's just so funny. I
No.
remember that year. God, again, this is why I got off of Facebook, where there was like PlayStation fanboys who were like, "Yeah, God of War and Red Dead and maybe Spider-Man, but the real game of the year is fucking Detroit." I'm like, I deleted my Facebook the minute that someone said that on Facebook.
No.
I was
At
like,
number 13, Mario Kart 8, 14, Fallout 76, 15, FIFA 19, 16, Battlefield 5, 17, Mario Odyssey, 18, Fighters, 19, Breath of the Wild, and 20, Call of Duty WW2.
okay.
I'm surprised Mario Kart is that far down on the list. It's had a year to be out, a year and a half.
But just the
To
more
be out,
Switches
right?
that sell, the more copies of that game sell. You
Yeah,
know?
I guess you're right. Yeah.
As time goes on, it gets more and more.
Well, that's
And
it for
that's
Game on
that.
Game Show, and that is it for episode 364 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you so much for listening. You have some homework as listeners. You get to go watch, as patreon.com patrons, you get to go watch our most recent RAF game show, which went live almost 2 weeks ago. It is what? Oh,
Gaming
the
Athlon.
Game Athlon. It is not the Olympics, but it is a series of gaming trivia things, every person for themselves. It is a good old time. Me v. Joel v. Was Joel in it? Joel's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel v. Who else is in it?
Roger.
2 people I hadn't met before, maybe? Yeah,
Roger Reichart, Ace of Green
who
River.
else? And Ace of Green River. Those 4 people are in it. And it was a good old time. Good old time. Lots of great stuff. Some good visuals as far as like the games go, but also some incredible visuals in terms of just production value. So go check that out right now if you're a patron over at patreon.com/respawnaimfire. If you're not a patron, you can go there and you can see the post and it'll have a little padlock symbol and you can't view what it says or see the link, but you can go there and you can just, Wolverine, hold it in a picture frame while you're in bed and just like wish. If you are not a patron, though, you do now finally have access in the month of August to last month's, which was fucking what? Oh, that was the solo me v. Joel, not Pride and Prejudice. What do we call this? Locked and Loaded.
Locked and Loaded.
And
Amazing.
zombies.
Yeah, that was me and Joel, one-on-one, Locked and Loaded, with Adam from an interdimensional space travel. Maybe the pterodactyl shows up. Maybe the Prince of Persia Velociraptor comes in. Who knows?
Send him the files,
Who
Chad.
knows? Maybe. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. So yeah, that's available for everyone for free now as well. And yeah, barf game for the month. If you are playing along with us, if you're playing the Minish Cap, how is this available? If you didn't buy the cartridge like I did and playing it in your analog pocket, is it on the NSO Nintendo Switch Online service?
Yeah, it's part of the Game Boy Advance collection of the Nintendo Switch Online expansion
So you have
pack.
to have the expansion. Yeah, okay. So you got to have the expansion pack extra gubernatorial on there. So yeah, go play that. If you have thoughts on the game, whether you played it this month or previously, and you would like us to interact with those thoughts in a vocal way on the podcast, you can send those thoughts to us one of many ways. Respawningfire@gmail.com, Respawningfire on Twitter. You can send it to P.O. Box 3592, New York, New York, 10012.
That's got to be
the
from
care
something.
of Peter Parker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I made that up. I don't know what address that is, whose P.O. box that is, or even
And
if
if
that's
you
the right
have-
number of numbers for a P.O. box in New York City. I don't know.
And if you have a lot of thoughts, so many thoughts that you're like, you know what? I'd love to be on Respawning Fire's barf review. Obviously, we'll want to vet you ahead of time to make sure you're not the creepy steel toes stabby man. But if you're not, we'll probably let you on.
Okay.
Chad looks very serious
He
right
typed
now.
in the P.O. box number.
Nope. Here's the alternate address. If you would like to send your thoughts to P.O. Box 963, New York City, New York, zip code 10108. That is the P.O. Box of Stick Stickly from Nickelodeon.
I'm like, when you were saying like that feels like when I was a kid when there was like a
Yeah.
TV show that was like playing a P.O. box thing.
Yeah, so you can write
It's like
to
a
Stick
magazine
Stickly.
subscription.
That's again, P.O. Box 963, New York, New York, 10108. I wonder if obviously somebody else has that P.O. Box now. Well, I don't
Or do
know.
they?
Maybe Nickelodeon still has it.
Maybe.
But like, I wonder if there's a rando who just like is a, I don't know, pizza delivery guy who is just getting Stick Stickly fan mail from 20, 30 years ago.
I hope so.
Who knows? Cozy. I can't remember. Is the finale this week or did it wrap up?
Cozy vs. Cooking Season 5 has officially wrapped up. I am still working on the highlight reel of my last stream where I made basically Tim Hortons donuts using the official Tim Hortons Timbit cereals. It was a wild way to conclude Season 5. I had a lot of fun with it. What I can say right here and right now is that Season 6 will be debuting September 25th, a little over a month from now. I don't have any more information to share yet on the upcoming season other than when you can expect it. I want the wait times between each season to become shorter and shorter. Not so short that I can't have a breather between them, but short enough that you, my viewers, don't have to wait too long. And also, I will say, if you have recently lapsed in watching Kind of Funny's content, you might want to go and watch the recent Kind of Funny Pledge Month Happy Hour AMA episode that they did on their channel, because I may or may not have appeared there in a short, fun little surprise segment. I want to say, just full disclosure, in the past on this podcast, we've talked about me participating in Kind of Funny's up-and-comer opportunity where they're going to fly someone down there. This had nothing to do with that. That apparently is still happening this year, but they've not really talked about it in a hot minute. This was basically because I was subscribed to the Patreon tier that allowed me to appear on this podcast. I was able to chat with the boys and did a fun little segment with them. So go and check that out.
Dope, dope, dope. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. And a mail, suck on my titties now, and a mail.
Send him the files, Chad.